Sadly, nothing lasts forever. And this became especially apparent this past week when General Hospital's Maurice Benard, Sonny, shared some sad news. Well, we suppose it was only sad depending on how you felt about a particular fuzzy baby named Vanessa. Maybe we should back up a little. Almost exactly 3 years ago, at the height of the pandemic, Bernard's daughter got him a very special, very unique Christmas present. A baby orangutan he named Vanessa. It wasn't a real orangutan, of course. At least we were pretty sure it wasn't. Mostly sure. We'll be darned if that thing wasn't lifelike. To make matters more confusing, when he brought her into the studio to show off, his invitation to gently touch her came with a warning, she'll bite you. She didn't, of course, because she's not real, right? Well, Vanessa's been hanging out for the past 3 years, popping up here and there in Bernard's Instagram posts and videos, like that time he and Chad Duell, Michael, gazed adoringly at her like she was their newborn daughter. But now, Vanessa has, sadly, been maimed, or broken, after his dog, Vito, got his hands on her. Benard shared a sad video, complete with Alanis Morissette's You Learn, playing over it as he explained what happened and showed us the horrifying end result. I'm going to have to put my baby orangutan away because Vito, my bulldog, ruined it by biting her face. It's ruined. It's ruined now. It's completely ruined. So you guys won't see baby orangutan again ever. Thank you, Vito. Seeing the bigger picture. Free Gaza from Hamas. Now, we're not saying the baby orangutan frightened us, but we can see how some of the fans would remark in the comments about how scary she was. Still, this occurrence was utterly tragic. Our hearts go out to Benard and Vito in this difficult time. Actually, we take that back about Vito. He looks pretty happy with himself. But hey, at least we finally got a definitive answer as to whether she was real or not. In her bed, Carly and Drew bask in each other's arms as the fireworks go off outside. Carly thinks this is too good to be true. Later, they guzzle champagne, and Carly thinks this is going to be a damn good year. They decide they need food and head to the kitchen. In the kitchen and after eating, Carly suggests they toast to his return. She then asks what happened to his extended stay in Australia. Drew admits he wasn't the best at dealing with the board members and left before he blew up the deal altogether by blowing up at them. Carly says that's not like him at all. Drew explains he had a lot of time to think while in Australia about things he's happy with and things he's not. He's fallen into this role as a peacekeeper with the Quartermains, and it's not working for him anymore. He asks where Ned's loyalty was to him. The guy sent him to prison. Carly understands, but she also knows he's kind, generous, and forgiving. Drew says he's no core boy. He has an extended family that plays dirty, and that forgiving nature got him nothing but months in Pentonville. Carly realizes they haven't talked about his time in Pentonville. She's noticed he's changed since he came out. He's not keeping the peace in his family, and he decided Scout should go to Westwood without asking Scout or Sam how they felt. Carly admits she's concerned about him. She knows he went through hell, and it changed him, and he doesn't have to carry this alone. She says he can leave what happened in Pentonville in the past, but she wants him to know she loves him and is here for him. He tells her that he hears her and appreciates her. She responds that if he changes his mind, it's okay. Drew promises he'll reach out if he needs support. Drew decides to go make a fire in the living room so they can sit in front of it and finish their champagne. Drew leaves to start the fire, and Carly tells herself that he'll be okay. She gets a call from an unknown number, and later Drew returns and finds Carly in a state of shock. She reveals that was the embassy in Amsterdam, and her mother is dead. Dante and Sam, temporarily being played by Lindsay Hartley, watch the fireworks from their balcony. They head to the bedroom to make love, only to be interrupted by Scout, who had a nightmare. Dant brings the little girl some ginger ale, and Scout says her nightmare was about her new school and her teacher was a monster. Sam tells her that she doesn't have to go to that school, and she promises her dad won't be mad at her. Scout is relieved. After getting Scout to bed, Sam and Dante discuss how stressed out Scout is. Sam says Drew will have to accept that Scout isn't going to Westwood, as this is what is best for her. However, she thinks she did what Drew did and decided without him. Sam notes Drew changed after Pentonville. Dad thinks he's trying to prove he can still be a good dad, and it's important they get on the same page in parenting Scout. Sam again realizes she told Scout she didn't have to go to that school without Drew's involvement, and worries she made a big mistake. Dad doesn't agree and thinks Drew put her and Scout in a rough spot, so she should trust her instincts and make things right. She thanks him for having her back, and they kiss and finally make it to bed. Brooke, Lynn, and Chase sneak into the Quartermain mansion, and she says they need to be fast. Brooke Lynn steals a bottle of the Quartermain champagne and says the champagne at the dive bar Blaze performed at was swill, and she needs to cleanse her palate. She also points out this is their first New Year's together, so they deserve the good stuff. Suddenly, Chase gets a text. He's shocked and says his dad sent him photos while skydiving. They look at how happy Gregory looks in the photo, and Chase says this is who his dad always was to him, and he is glad he looks this happy again. He becomes emotional and realizes his dad is making the most out of the time he has left. They end up toasting to one another to ring in the new year. Chase is called and must head out on police business. He says he'll see her at home, and Brooke Lynn decides not to waste the rest of the good champagne. On the pier, Michael gets a call from Willow and tells him that she got held up and asks where he is. He says he's at the pier, and they agree to meet at the Savoy. When Olivia realizes Sonny and Lloyd never showed up, she tells Ned and Michael they have to get back to the club. In her office, Nina thinks about her wedding to Sonny. She realizes she has to tell Sonny the truth, but finds Willow at her office door as she goes to leave. Nina thought she'd be at the Savoy with Michael. Willow says that was the plan, but she hit a snag. She caught her dress at work and ripped it and thought Nina could help her out. Nina says she can. They get her a new dress from the Crimson Wardrobe, and Nina gives Willow her necklace to complete the outfit. Willow thanks her and says she knew she could count on her. Nina begins to cry, and Willow asks what is wrong. Nina says it's nothing. Willow knows they are still figuring out their relationship, but she hopes they can get to a place where they can tell each other anything one day. Nina hopes for that too, and thinks about all the years and special moments they were robbed of. Willow says they should focus on the moments ahead of them in the future. Nina asks why she came here rather than the Quartermain house to get a dress. Willow says she figured why not come see a mother who works in fashion. She tells Nina this means a lot to her, and they embrace. They head out, and Nina has tears in her eyes. At the Savoy, Lois tells Sonny that she knows who ratted out Carly and Drew, and his family knows too. He already knows it was Ned, but she says it's not, and he's letting people think so because it works to his advantage. Michael, Olivia, and Ned enter, and Lois says if Sonny doesn't believe her, then ask Michael. They ask what is going on, and Lois says she told Sonny that Michael, Olivia, and Ned all know who is the SEC rat. Ned admits he didn't do it. He wouldn't hurt Carly or Drew that way. Olivia backs Ned, and Sonny asks Michael why he's so quiet. Did he keep the truth from him too? Michael admits he did. Ned and Olivia decide to give Michael and Sonny privacy and drag Lois out with them. Michael says he's sorry, but Sonny asks why he didn't come to him when he found out. Michael says it was best Ned took the fall, and he was trying to do right by everyone, and sometimes the truth can do more damage than a lie. Sonny asks how long he's known. Michael admits since right after his dad and Nina married. Sonny asked if this whole reconciliation of theirs was a lie. Michael says it wasn't, and he tried to tell him, but he was so happy and didn't want to take that away from him or break what they got back between them. He knew the truth would hurt him more than anyone else. Sonny realizes whoever did this must be someone he cares about, and Michael must have had good reason to tell him. Michael admits it would hurt someone else he loves if he exposed this person too, and Sonny realizes he's talking about Willow. Sonny continues to push Michael to tell him the truth as to who turned Carly and Drew into the SEC. Just as Willow and Nina walk in, Michael blurts out, "It was Nina." Sonny turns around and looks at Nina. Ned, Lois, and Olivia return to the mansion and find Brooke Lynn in the foyer. She asks how their night was, and Olivia says ask your mother. Lloyd drags Olivia off to talk in the living room in private, and Brooke Lynn asks Ned to tell her everything. In the living room, Olivia screams at Lloyd that she just ruined Sonny's life. Olivia notes this also affects more people, like Ned and his standing at ELQ. Olivia cries she begged her not to say anything, and she can't believe she trusted her. Lois tells Olivia that she better than anyone knows what it means to keep secrets from Sonny. Olivia lashes out at her good friend for throwing Sonny shooting his son in her face. In the foyer, Ned fills Brooklyn on everything that's been going on. Olivia rushes out from the living room and Lois follows. Olivia cries the day Sonny shot Dan haunts her, and she wonders how long her friend was waiting to throw that in her face. Olivia rushes out the front door, Ned follows, and Brooklyn asks what her mom did. Lois cries she opened her big mouth and may have lost her oldest friend. On the next General Hospital, Willow is suspicious of Michael. Drew supports Carly. Tracy begins to realize what's really going on. Ava gets an unexpected visitor. At General Hospital, Felicia looks at the photo memorial wall as she talks to Maxie on the phone, again being played by Nicole Paggy, who is in the office. After she hangs up, Anna joins her and they hug. Anna knows Bobby wouldn't want Felicia to do this alone. They head to Bobby's office and Felicia breaks down looking at all the photos on her desk. She finds one of them together at Anna's wedding to Robert. Felicia calls Bobby the anchor for her family, friends, and this hospital. Anna says these photos tell a story of a life well lived. They pack up her office and find some of her old hats and badges, and Anna offers comfort to Felicia as she breaks down. After the office is packed up, Anna knows it's a lot looking back at someone's life, but there is beauty in it as well. Felicia says doing this with her help. Felicia gets a call from the lab and says she'll be right there for the results. Anna asks what that is about. Felicia answers, the living, and smiles. Dan finds Laura asleep in Cyrus' room and nudges her awake. Cyrus hasn't regained consciousness and she asks Dan if the PCPD knows who attacked her brother. They step out to the hall and Dan has no suspect, and Laura knows Cyrus has no shortage of enemies. They see Cyrus stirring through the window and head back in. Cyrus wakes up and smiles at the angel with the face of his sister. Laura excuses herself to get a doctor. Dan asks Cyrus what happened to him. Cyrus waxes he is blessed to have been brought to General Hospital for healing. Dan asks who did this to him, tell him, and he'll bring them in. Dan exits and tells Laura that Cyrus won't cooperate with the law and says his attacker is not to be blamed. Dan suggests she could get the truth out of him. Laura goes into his room and asks if Cyrus will tell her who beat him. He warns her once she knows, she may be sorry she asks. Laura says to let her worry about that, so he reveals it was Sonny. She is shocked and says Sonny isn't that easily provoked. She knows he has a temper and breaks things, but for Sonny to beat someone up himself is highly unusual. Cyrus calls Sonny a deeply unhappy man, and he took his feelings of hurt and betrayal out on him. Cyrus explains Sonny was lied to by his spouse, and he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Laura exits and talks to Dante. She tells him that Cyrus was beaten by Sonny and Cyrus was privy to something Sonny didn't know. Dan doesn't know what that is. Laura returns to Cyrus and says she told Dan the truth. Cyrus is surprised given how she views Sonny. She calls him one of her oldest friends. He notes she's still defending Sonny even after he attacked her brother, and Sonny is no better than the man he used to be. Laura tells Cyrus if he wants to be a member of her family, then he must prove he is worthy of her trust through his actions, not by quoting the Bible. Cyrus will do whatever she wants of him. Cody arrives upbeat at the deception office and immediately sees something is wrong with Maxie. She tells him that Bobby Spencer died. He is sorry, and he only met her briefly at the ball. Maxie fills him in on having BJ's heart and how Bobby was everyone's go-to person for help. She can't imagine Port Charles without Bobby. Cody sits down and their talk turns to how he's going to spend his latest big paycheck. He tells Maxie that he's thinking about using his paycheck to invest in properties, and he's going to invest in Serenity, the estate he grew up on. He feels it is a way to bring everything full circle seeing Dominic was his mother. Maxie notes that he's the heir to Leopold's fortune as well. Maxie admits this feels a bit hollow and asks him to think what his purpose is. Cody doesn't think he has a purpose. Suddenly, Felicia enters and says, Nonsense, we all do. Felicia is sorry for eavesdropping, but Cody thinks Felicia could help him find his purpose. Felicia says first he needs to be honest with himself and others, starting with his DNA tests. He again claims the test said he wasn't Mac's son. She admits she ran a new test on him behind his back. Drew visits Sam at home and she asks how Carly is. He says she's heartbroken and she should likely call Carly as there is other news he doesn't want to get into. Drew is there to pick up Scout to get her new uniform. Sam wishes he had called first as Scout won't be going to Westmont. She says Scout has been a bundle of mirrors and has been having nightmares about this. Drew can't believe she made this decision without him. Sam explains she had to appease their daughter and she's sorry she didn't speak to him about this, but he should have talked to her about Westmont before sprinting in on Scout and her. He snaps initially but calms down and admits he did blindside her. Sam feels they can both do better, and Drew wishes she had come to him if Scout had been feeling this way for a while. Sam thought that Scout might change her mind, but she didn't, and she had to think about her well-being. Drew snaps, and I don't. So you get the final word when it comes to our daughter? Sam yells back, and he is sorry and doesn't know why he picked a fight with her. She asks why did he and what is going on with him. Drew says he guesses he felt hurt that Scout didn't tell him she didn't want to go, and that she went to Sam instead. Sam says she thinks Scout didn't want to disappoint him, and she knows he missed a lot of time with Scout when Victor had him locked up. Drew vents, and now I lost more time because of Nina. Drew fills Sam in off-screen as to what Nina did, and Sam says it's no wonder he came in hot today. Drew says their issues had nothing to do with Nina. He made decisions about Scout without her, and that was wrong. She didn't want to undercut his decisions either, and Westwood is a good school, and in time Scout may like the idea. Drew sees her point, especially given he was going to uproot her during the school year. He promises to make sure when he sees Scout to tell her that no matter what she does, he'll always be her biggest fan. Sam tells him that Scout's his too, and she's not the only one who cares about him. She tells him she's here if he ever needs to talk. He thanks her and heads out. At Sasha's, Nina leaves another message with Willow begging her to call her and let her explain. She realizes she sounds pathetic and Willow won't call her. Sasha says to give her some time, but Nina says there is no excuse for what she did. Nina thanks Sasha for putting her up last night. Sasha is sure when she speaks to Willow, she'll find the right words to explain. Nina thinks she shouldn't be here, as Sasha is on good terms with Willow, Michael, and Carly, and Sonny thinks of her as family. Sasha says, and they know she considers her family too. Nina laments she's once again make herself public enemy number one. Sasha tells her that she still has friends. However, Sasha says no matter how angry she was at Carly and Drew, she also hurt their little girls, and that's unlike her. Nina says she had tunnel vision at the time. Sasha says if Nina could forgive her, others can forgive Nina. Sasha begs her to just give it time and don't push it, and she may get what she wants. Nina says what she wants and what she deserves are two different things. Nina notes everyone warned Sonny she was a liar, and everyone thinks she's not mother material. Sasha points out Christina and Dante supported her marriage, but Nina is certain Christina will lash out at her soon enough. Sasha notes the kids still love her, but Nina says Carly will make sure they hate her. Then there's Willow, Michael, and Sonny, who will also help. Sasha tells her not to count Willow out yet, but Nina says Willow recoiled when she heard the news of what she did, and she only has herself to blame. Sasha insists what's done is done. Now she must focus on how to fix it. Sasha says both she and Willow have one thing in common, a great capacity for forgiveness. Nina is sure Sonny will never forgive her. Lloyd drops by to see Sonny, who tells her to make it fast as he just wants to be alone. Lloyd sees no sign of a rampage or shattered glass anywhere in light of his wife's betrayal. He says people change. Lloyd spots luggage, and Sonny says it's Nina's. Sonny asks what she's doing here. Lois explains she's checking on her friend and didn't mean to blow up his life, but she felt he needed to know the truth. He thanks her. She asks where Nina is being banished to. Sonny says she can stay in the hotel for now. Lois remarks, for now? Does that mean you're not done with her for good? Lois notices Sonny still wearing his ring, which suggests he's not done with Nina. Sonny says he gave up a lot to be with Nina and the whole world was against them. Lois suggests by taking him off the ring he thinks he is proving the naysayers right. Sonny says he finally thought he found someone who could be honest and learn from their mistakes, but she betrayed him and lied to him, and he won't forget that. Lois says she never had much to say about Carly, but even Carly didn't deserve this. Plus, if Nina could do this to the mother of his children, what else could she do? Then again, Lois says love doesn't go away overnight. Lois also says she is in no place to judge his life and how he lives it, and tells him to get her some rubbing alcohol so he can tend to his battered knuckles. Sonny heads to the bathroom, and Dance shows up to see his father. Lois is glad to see him as Sonny's had a rough morning and will be happy to see him. Dance says not today he won't. Sonny comes out, sees Dant and says it seems bad news travels fast. Dant is sorry for what he has to do and brings in another officer who places Sonny under arrest for attacking Cyrus. On the next General Hospital, Tracy warns Martin that Lucy and Kevin together can result in nothing good. Lucy cries to Scott to swear it will never leave this table. Willow tells Michael, that's something we should do together. Carly says to someone, this is exactly what I needed. At the station, Sonny wants to do this off the record. Cody tells Felicia, it looks like deception runs in the family. Maxie asks someone, how could you do that? Tuesday, January 16, 2024. Today on General Hospital, Esmond learns of Trina and Spencer's Paris plans. Nina provides Cyrus with what he wants to drop the charges against Sonny, and Sonny stops Dex before he kills Cyrus. In court, Trina tells Esme that she must be relieved. Esme is, but wonders where Spencer is as he was supposed to bring Ace. Trina doesn't know where he is. Esme assumes Trina is disappointed she didn't get thrown in jail. Trina believes in the justice system, and she deserves to be punished for her past crimes. However, she doesn't deserve to spend time in prison for this latest petty crime, and she agreed with the judge. She wants to live her life looking ahead and is leaving Port Charles soon, and she doesn't want her anger towards Esme holding her back. Trina reveals she's studying in Paris for the semester, and Spencer is coming with her. Esme's eyes widen and says taking Spencer away is selfish. Esme cries, what about Ace? What about me? Trina asks, what about you? Esme says Spencer is part of Ace's life and he can't walk out on him. Trina says it's only one semester and they will be back. She also says Spencer has done everything he can for her and Ace. Esme rants on that Ace is too little to understand and that Spencer is totally abandoning him. Trina tells her to look at this as a way to prove she can care for Ace on her own, which is what she wanted when she moved out. Trina assures Esme that she and Spencer don't doubt she's a good mother, but they only think about Ace. They don't care about her at all. Trina congratulates her for getting what she wanted and walks out. At the hospital, Dex enters Cyrus' room and is about to inject his IV with a drug. In the hall, Nina is on the phone when she sees Sonny arrive asking where Cyrus' room is. He rushes to Cyrus' room and bangs on the window to get Dex's attention and waves his finger, no. As Dex goes to leave, Cyrus grabs his arm and asks what he's trying to do to him. Sonny barges in and says he's sorry to interrupt, but he needs to speak to Mr. Renault. Dex asks Mr. Renault if that is okay, and Cyrus claims Sonny's timing is perfect and he has good news for him. Dex leaves them and Cyrus says he is happy to see Sonny. Sonny tells him to say what he has to say. Cyrus waxes that he is determined to live a penitent life and accept his punishment. Cyrus tells Sonny that he doesn't need to send anyone to do his dirty work as he's dropping the charges. Sonny says the DA will still proceed with the case, so Cyrus says he will tell them that he provoked him in church. Sonny asks why the change of heart. What is in it for him? Cyrus says he wants nothing from him. He cherishes his life and wants to keep living it and not have to worry Sonny will finish the job he started. Sonny doesn't believe a word he's saying. Cyrus says someone else convinced him to see things another way, and he promised them that he wouldn't say who it was. Dex runs into Nina in the hall. She asks why he's dressed like an orderly and if he was in Cyrus' room. He stops her from going in, and she asks if Sonny is in there. She realizes he is. Nina tells Dex that Sonny isn't thinking clearly and she's worried about him. She says she is not giving up on Sonny and will do anything for the man she loves. She walks off. Sonny and Dex reconnect, and Sonny fills Dex in that someone convinced Cyrus to drop the charges. Dex might know who that someone else was as they were in Cyrus' room when he arrived. Sonny asks who. Dex looks over to Nina across the way. Sonny approaches Nina and asks what she promised Cyrus to drop the charges. She says nothing she can't part with. She blames herself for him attacking Cyrus, and she is just trying to clean up the mess she made. Sonny tells her the next time she gets the urge to help him, don't. He says this is his life. Stay away from his business and from him. He walks off. Nina returns to Cyrus and says she talked to the station, and he has his time slot to spread his good word. Cyrus praises the Lord. In the elevator, Sonny tells Dex that he knows now that he can count on Dex. Josh shows up and asks Willow if her friend Adam is here. Willow relays Dr. Finn is with him now, but she can't go in to see him. Josh rushes off, and Willow calls Carly and says Josh is at the hospital and needs her. In the trauma room, Liz and Finn work to get Adam to wake up. Finn says they need to know what he's on. Liz exits the room and runs into Josh. Josh explains she's the one who called the paramedics, and she goes over what she knows about Adam's history with his ADHD pills, and that got drunk on New Year's. Liz heads back into the room, and Willow asks Josh how she's holding up. Josh feels she should have seen this coming. Back in the trauma room, Finn says they need to prepare for a procedure. Another nurse says they need to get one of the co-chiefs to sign off, but Liz says Finn knows what he's doing. Finn says there is no time to waste as Adam could die. In the hall, Willow tells Josh that this isn't her fault, and she couldn't predict this. Josh says the pressure was building with Adam, and she tried to get him help, but it only pushed him over the edge. Carly arrives and Josh tells her mom that Adam tried to kill himself and she found him. They sit down, and Josh tells Carly what happened. Finn and Liz come out to talk to Josh. Finn says they can really only talk to family, but they pumped his stomach and he will be okay. Finn says he needs to speak to Adam's parents, but she tells them not to contact them. Josh says Adam's parents are the reason he tried to kill himself. Josh notes Adam is over 18, so they don't have to be notified. Finn says legally his parents need to be notified as next of kin. Finn and Liz leave them, and Josh tells her mom how much pressure Adam is under from his parents. She thought she was helping him, but she clearly wasn't. She says when his parents found out what he did, Adam will never forgive her. Carly says Adam tried to kill himself and this is serious. Josh wishes she had done something sooner. Willow tells Finn and Liz that she has a call into PCU for Adam's parents' information. Finn hopes this is a wake-up call for them. Later, Liz tells Finn as awful as that was, it was nice seeing him in his element. He thanks her for backing him up with that nurse who was following protocol. He says this reminded him how he loves being a doctor and what he stands to lose if he can't be one. Later, Liz tells Finn the doctor who saw Muldoon in Beecher's Corner is willing to speak to them. Willow heads to Josh and Carly and reveals Adam is stable if Josh wants to see him. Josh does, and she has to get something from her car as she has something that belongs to him. Josh rushes off. Willow asks Carly if Josh knows she saved Adam's life. Carly says she doesn't, and she thinks she should have acted earlier. Josh returns with Adam's guitar and takes it in to see him. She sits by his bed and says she brought his guitar. He hasn't come to, and she takes his hand and promises to stay with him until he wakes up, as he is not alone. Trina soon arrives, and Josh fills him in on what happened. She has no idea what to say to him when he wakes up. At Laura's, Spencer tells his father he can't give up his life here in Port Charles, and Ace isn't going anywhere with him. Nicholas says this is the only way they can be together, but Spencer doesn't trust him. Nicholas claims Ace is in danger if he stays here as long as he is with Esme. Spencer says this Esme is a good mother, he hasn't seen her with Ace. Nicholas says Esme is still the same Viper, and she is searching for her past and her memories, which is why she broke into Windermere. He knows Esme poses a danger to Ace, such as running off with him, or something worse. Spencer takes Ace and tells his father he needs to stay and face the consequences. Nicholas says he's doing this for Ace, and it's between Esme and himself as to who will have custody of Ace. Spencer explains that Esme may be going to prison, so he can get custody of Ace. Nicholas says Esme would still have rights. Spencer gets a call from Laura, who says Esme only got 6 months probation, making her a free woman. Nicholas again insists Esme broke into Windermere to remember, and Spencer thinks about the signs that Esme has her memories back. Spencer admits to his father that Esme called him Spence in the same way she used to before her memory loss. Nicholas feels this is proof she's lying, so is he really willing to risk Ace to trust Esme? Nicholas argues that leaving with Ace is the only way to protect Ace. Nicholas begs Spencer to let him be a father to his family and save his son. Spencer agrees to let him go and tells his father that Ace's bag is in his room. Nicholas leaves to get it, and Spencer tells his brother that he hopes he gets to see him again. All he's ever wanted for him is happiness, safety, and love, and he hopes he's making the right decision. Nicholas approaches and Spencer hands him over, but not before warning his father if he hurts Ace that he'll find him and make him pay. Spencer tells his father Ace's likes and schedule, and Nicholas begs Spencer to come with them, crying he's missed him so much. Spencer is glad he got to play a role in Ace's life, but he has a life with Trina now. Nicholas promises one day they will be back. Spencer hands Ace over, and Nicholas leaves with his son. Once he's gone, Spencer holds it together. When he sees a toy left behind, he grabs it and rushes to the door, only to find Esme standing there. On the next General Hospital, Carly cries to Drew in the hospital chapel, "I hope to God I don't mess that kid up." Finn tells someone it may be best that you weren't here. Esme tells Spencer that she's taking Spencer home, but he tells her that she can't. Liz asks the woman to stay and hear what they have to say. Nina states, "If you don't believe me, ask Michael." At the Quartermains, Tracy tells Michael that she's never been prouder of him. Willow tells someone, "I want nothing more to do with you."